Hello and welcome to the Curiosity Quest podcast. My name is Natasha Schulmeister and I am your host. And I'm so happy to be back. I had my birthday week last week. I ran a marathon this month. I've been doing a lot of things in May. So I'm still so excited to be showing up and doing these podcasts, and also very grateful that I can do it every other week as well, so that I can take some of the steam off of the excitement coming up of summer and everything else that's going to be happening. Today's episode is very exciting for me because I am genuinely going to be learning in this podcast episode with you. This is a topic that I find polarizes a lot of people. You can let me know if you feel the same way as me. This is a topic where I feel many who are resistant to it lack information, and it brings a lot of anxiety and it brings a lot of resistance. And I also feel as though the lack of information isn't because the information isn't out there. I believe it might just not be out there in a way that some people feel safe learning, and it puts them into a trigger response. And so I hope on today's episode we can talk about this and it feels really good. That's what I hope. And if it doesn't, or if I'm missing something, to be clear, I have not read anything that I have been sent yet. So if there's things that you feel are really important that are missing from this information, message me. If you feel as though you want to learn more and you really enjoyed me talking about it, message me. I would love to chat more. I'm just going to be very clear. I am not an expert on this. I have so much learning to do, and I feel as though the world is progressing at a really fast rate, and I'm trying to inhale all of the information and respect and honor all of the change and adaptations and removal of compartmentalization in our world that's happening. And just because there is a lot and we're navigating a lot, I feel as though I don't get as far as I would like to on specific topics. And that's why this is so exciting to have this podcast, honestly, because I get to actually sit down with you and we can learn together and be curious together and explore together and just chat. These don't get edited. I don't cut it so that I sound better. It's just, we're sitting on a couch, quite literally. My dog is asleep beside me, and we're going to talk on topics that can be uncomfortable. And hopefully we can talk about them in a way that makes it less scary. That's the hope. So, without further ado, the topic of today. We will be talking about gender identities and social dynamics. I know. I'm as excited as you are. I also am going to be taking drinks throughout this because I have to go to an ultrasound appointment. I am not pregnant. However, I do have to have a full bladder for this appointment, and I had to have it 2 hours prior to my actual ultrasound. So I'm going to be squirming. I might not do a super long episode specifically because I don't know about anybody else, but when I have to pee, I can't. At a certain point, my brain is I can't conversate. I just have to think other thoughts. And it really doesn't help that I have an aquarium right there. So if you hear me complaining, that's why. And you do hear me complaining because I'm complaining right now. Oh, too funny. Love me. Okay. So I'm going to read this first bit. It's definitions, and I feel like it's important. I believe most people know the definitions. So this isn't me reading the definitions because I believe that people don't know them. I'm reading the definitions to make sure that as we're learning together, we're using the same definitions going forward in the episode. And there's also a spectrum of identities. I just want to note, I only see 6 listed here, but I do know that there's a more comprehensive list. And yeah, if that might already be said in here. I have not read this, so I don't know. So I'm foreshadowing here for us, okay? I'm foreshadowing. So, gender. Gender refers to the social and cultural roles, behaviors, and attributes that a society considers appropriate for men, women, and other gender identities. It's distinct from biological sex and encompasses a spectrum of identities. Okay, so that's gender today. And I hope all days, but I just want to make it clear, when we're talking about gender today, that's the road we're going down. Biological sex being a separate thing from gender. So now, with that, there's, yes, 1, 2, 3, 6. I did count that right. Oh my gosh, look at me go. Also, this is just a side quest here, but I was eating frozen blueberries. So if you see blue fingers and it looks like my fingers are dirty, they're not. I get it that people are probably listening to this in their ears and not with their eyes on YouTube or Spotify, but just in case you are watching the video, it's blueberries. Even my hand's tinted blue. I love frozen blueberries. Okay, let's get into these. There's 6 listed here. There's a more comprehensive list somewhere. This might be said somewhere in here. I will go over them. First one is cisgender, transgender, non-binary, gender fluid, agender, pangender, or agender. Sorry, I should probably say it. I noticed that I say words. Maybe I should stop judging myself right now, but I noticed that sometimes I say words and my mouth wraps around a word weird, and I don't want to offend anybody. So I'm just going to let you know, you've probably been listening to me long enough that you've noticed that I say some words just really different, and it's just my mouth. I don't know. I feel like I sometimes have like a bit of a twang too, and it's weird because I'm not... okay, anyways, I'm going to stop judging myself now. I'm going to just go into this and we're just going to go for it, okay? So we're going to start with definitions of each of these things, and hopefully it gives somebody some more information that maybe they didn't have before. Maybe you know a few of these already, but you've never heard of the other ones. And so, yeah, let's cruise through them. So cisgender, I feel like this one is a commonly known one, but in the off chance that you don't know it, individuals whose gender identity aligns with their sex assigned at birth. So at birth, if you are assigned male and you identify as a male, you would be cisgender. I feel like that gets commonly said, but cis. So it's like, oh, he's a cis white male. I hear that a lot. That's like what's coming to my mind, which is really unfortunate because it's a negative connotation. It's a negative connotation, and I don't have a positive one popping in. However, it just means whatever sex you were assigned at birth, you identify as in life. Okay, next one up is transgender. Individuals whose gender identity differs from their sex assigned at birth. So you were at birth, the sex assigned to you was male. You were born at birth. Is that what I just said? That's hilarious. I'm going to apparently tease myself this whole time. So I guess let's just settle into that and let it be. It's what's going to make it fun. All right, cool. Love that for us. Individuals whose gender identity differs from their sex assigned at birth. Okay, so the sex assigned at birth is male. However, you identify as female. Transgender. Okay, next up, non-binary. People who don't identify exclusively as male or female. So sex assigned at birth, female. However, in life, you don't identify with either of those genders or any of the genders available to you. And so non-binary. Gender fluid, which, again, a lot of people might know what these are, but I'm going to go through them just as a refresher for myself as well. Very important for me. So gender fluid, individuals whose gender identity shifts over time between different genders. So just my understanding of what that is, okay, sex assigned at birth, female. But it feels as though you can fit that female identity as gender, but then you can also fit that male gender as you go through life. I believe gender fluid just means that you identify as both, but not at the same time. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that that's what that means. One day or 1 week you may feel like you identify as female, and then the following week that might feel completely foreign to you and you feel male and you identify as genderly as a male. If I'm brutalizing that, please tell me, but that is my very minimal understanding of gender fluid. Okay, agender, people who identify as having no gender. So agender, assigned female at birth, but through life, there's no gender that actually fits them appropriately. And you know what? Now that I'm saying that out loud, I feel like that is somewhat how I explained non-binary. And I feel as though that's not right. That is agender. So, okay, here we go. Agender, people who identify as having no gender. Okay. Last one. Last one. Pangender. Individuals who identify with multiple or all genders. So, born, sex assigned at birth, male. However, you feel as though you can connect and at all times identify with any of the genders available. I hope that is, I know that's very basic, but I hope that is enough of an understanding to navigate these. And again, please, if I misrepresented any of these, share with me. I want to hear all about it. And if anybody wants to come on and chat on this because you actually have a good understanding and grounding and you live in this world, or I don't know, it's part of your day-to-day life and it has been for a long period of time, let me know. I would love to have you on the podcast talking about this. I would love to pick your brain. I'd love to learn more. It's really interesting because I am female. I'm sex assigned at birth, female. I am female. I definitely have certain parts of me that are very masculine, certain traits, certain gender traits that are very masculine. However, when it comes to my sexuality, I am pansexual. So when it comes to my attraction towards other people, I'm fluid. We'll call it fluid. I don't have a specific gender that I'm attracted to. My partner is male and he is cisgender. He is heterosexual. Love him to death. I hope that I marry him and that we die together. Like, that would be great. He's beautiful and he has a beautiful body, but that's not what I'm attracted to. Like, I can appreciate his body, and if he could just be shirtless all the time, I'd be very okay with it. However, I'm not, that's not where my sexual attraction comes from. And so it's interesting because I am cisgender. However, my sexuality is fluid. It's fluid. It's not about look at all. And so I can only understand to the depth that I can understand from my own lived experience on this planet. And I can only imagine what it would be like to have my sexuality being fluid, that be how I identified as a gender in this society, or genderless in this society. Because the world isn't overly accepting of that. It's a lot easier to compartmentalize, right? Fit to the tiny, perfect little boxes. And I didn't even know what the words were for what my experience was sexually until I was 25. I just thought that there was something wrong with me. So we're getting better. We're getting better. And I have still so much to learn about gender and social norms. So yeah, I'm excited to keep learning, and I hope everybody here is excited to keep learning as well. I had a fun request for this, and they definitely sent some good info, which is really, really cool. I wanted to hear what the top Google searches related to gender identities were. And I'm going to read them to you. And I would love to hear if anybody has ever Googled these things. Anybody from the listeners' realm has Googled these things. These are trend highlights, by the way, areas of interest. So I can't specifically search data by gender identity. It's not publicly available. That would be illegal, I'm pretty sure. But there's certain trends. So general gender identity questions or queries to Google. Are you ready? Am I gay? Am I a lesbian? Am I trans? How to come out? Non-binary. So basically, the definitions I had that start are really important because people don't know. They don't know. Or this information is too overwhelming and they're confused and they want to figure out more about themselves. And so they have to Google search it. And then I can only imagine, because when I Google searched myself about like my experience, oh my gosh, I was flooded with so much information and I had no idea where to start or where to look. I grew up in a place where this was not normal. And so I just turned it off. I'm like, I'm just not going to look at all. Not a very good response, I know. But I was younger when this all went down. So yeah, that's just crazy to me. Those are the most common. That's the highest trends. Am I gay? Am I a lesbian? Am I trans? How to come out? Non-binary. Oh, you know what? I just had a thought too. This is a side quest, but if we talked about these things more, if this was more common, if there was a better education system on this, or maybe even, I'm trying to figure out how to word this, like if we were more gender and sex literate as a community, would you even have to come out? Like that just popped into my brain when I read that the second time, how to come out. I'm like, man, if we were more involved, if this was just part of our common conversation and education and family intelligence, I don't know what that is, but would you even have to come out? Because I mean, being straight, you don't come out being straight. I don't know why my brain is going here right now. I'm just going off on a riff. So if this is offending anybody, I apologize ahead of time. But just, yeah, you don't have to come out that you're straight. It's just assumed because it's normalized, because that's what's talked about most frequently, because that's what's most common in our world, in our life, in our communities, and yeah, in our family systems. And so if we could expand it, we were doing it on the full spectrum of identities, I don't even know. Like, would you even have to come out? Or would it be just like straight people? Where it's just like, oh, yeah, I'm straight. It's like, yeah, okay, we don't have to talk about that. It's good. I figured. I don't know. Okay, that was just my random side quest there. But they've had these searches. So this is what the part of the write-up says, just so we're clear. These searches have seen significant increases, indicating a growing curiosity and self-exploration among individuals. So that's pretty groovy to me. I mean, heck, I'm part of that. I mean, I didn't Google those things, but I did pull this information. I didn't specifically pull this information. I shouldn't take credit for that. But this information was pulled for me. So yeah, I'm part of that search, that growing curiosity. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so top Google searches of women over 40, just for fun. Okay, let's read through it. And if there are women over 40 listening, please let me know if you've Google searched this. The first one is Viagra. So I'm assuming trying to figure out what Viagra is, or maybe because it literally just says Viagra. So I'm going to make an assumption that if you are Googling Viagra, you're either Googling Viagra because you don't know what it is and you want to know what it is, or you're trying to get some, maybe. And maybe your partner just needs a little bit of help, which is okay, by the way. That was a pause for drinking. I'm just making sure I'm having enough fluid for this ultrasound. Pause for one more. Ugh. I know it's supposed to be water, but it's going to have to be coffee because I'm tired. Okay, second one up. Can I run with knee pain? Yes. However, there's a way of doing it that is much better than injuring yourself. And to be clear, women over 40, you're not the only people that have knee pain when you run. Just interesting that I feel like women over 40 are more concerned about injury than probably younger people are. So they're probably not Googling it as much. Knee pain while running is a very common thread. And I can say that because I am a runner, though I have not had knee pain in a long time. It is something that you have to build up to. Having good shoes is actually quite important for that knee and ankle joint pain. And then running on and off until you build your body's tolerance of the movement pattern. A lot of people like to just send it. They want to just go. They're like, I'm just going to go fast. And if I can't go fast, I'm just going to shame myself and it's going to hurt. And if I hurt, it's because I can't do it. And it's like, no, it's because you have to build the tolerance. It's not that you're incapable. I also had to run short distances and walk and jog and do all of these things to build up my capacity to run. And now I have ran 2 marathons. So I will tell you, take the time, love yourself. Take the time and love yourself. Woo! Next one up. Is brain fog real? Women over 40. Brain fog is very real. If you are a woman over 40, please tell me why you are Googling is brain fog real. Brain fog. Did I say brain fog? Okay. Next one. Best CBD oils. Help for hot flashes. This just sounds like women are in perimenopause. Girls, if you are Googling all of these things, please go see your doctor and tell them that your hormones are whacked and get tested for perimenopause. And I shouldn't be laughing. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing in pain of the truth of the situation. Perimenopause sucks. And yeah. So this is the little blurb. These searches reflect health and wellness concerns prevalent among women in this age group. Yeah. Okay. My other one that I really wanted to talk about, that I wanted information about, common challenges faced by different gender identities. And I'm not curious to learn this because I want to continue to segment us or compartmentalize us. I really, really, really believe in a world where there are no lines. Like, we should not be in such deep separation. And there are many ways for us to be able to connect and understand one another. We do not have to understand each other's experience or perspectives. That will never happen. We're unique. This is scientifically proven. We are going through and seeing this world in our very own specific way. That doesn't change. However, I can understand in my own way emotions. I can understand in my own way choice and how important choice is. I can understand in my own way compassion and empathy. And so those key areas are where a lot of us could be connecting and where we are missing one another. And basic respect, all of these things. So I want to just say that because I'm pretty personally against compartmentalizing. However, I also understand that because of social pressures, the gender roles that are out there experience, I would say, different stresses and anxieties. And that's because of the pressure that society itself puts on them. So we are going to go over it together. And we're going to start with men. Because yes, men do actually struggle. They do. They do. And I really hope, I keep seeing men's clubs coming up. Like they're starting to become more popular, where men actually sit down and talk to each other. And I just want more of that. So I'm just going to put that out there. Okay. So the challenges, common challenges faced by men: mental health stigma, workplace anxiety, and social isolation. So the first one, mental health stigma. Societal expectations often discourage emotional expression, leading to underreported mental health issues. Very real. I've had 2 men in my family take their lives, and it's really, how do I word this? I'm not like trying to be politically correct either. I'm just trying to like actually put together a sentence, because I had so many things wash into my brain at the same time. It's really concerning to me that men don't have the words to speak their truth. And let me just like finish that thought. So just to be clear, I'm not saying that men are unintelligent. I'm not saying that men are not don't have access to a dictionary. I'm not saying that. I am saying the amount of men that I have worked with, that I sit with, that have such a hard time verbalizing what they're feeling, is concerning. They feel it, they experience it, but they've never been taught how to use their voice to share it with somebody else. And I do not see this as much with women. I do see it with women, not nearly as much. Not nearly as much. And that scares me. It scares me when I'm sitting across from a male and they are trying so hard to express themselves, and I'm reflecting back, mirroring, and offering potential words or feelings, or getting them to like where and what does that look like? Give me an image. And I'm trying to find ways of extracting the information from them, because I can't make it up for them. They have to share it. The amount of times I've heard, oh my gosh, you're putting into words things that I've never been able to say before. Like this, you're making this, like, these are things that I've never been able to like put together. The amount of times I've heard that statement breaks my heart. So, I am a big mental health advocate for every gender identity, all of them. And I also have a very deeply soft spot for men with this regard. Okay, now workplace anxiety. We're going to keep going because I also have to go to this appointment eventually. Workplace anxiety. I've had workplace anxiety as well. Concerns about saying or doing the wrong thing in DEI-focused environments can lead to self-censorship and job insecurity. Oh. I did not expect that. I'm sorry, I haven't read this. I was not expecting that. Okay, I actually really want to make sure that I know what a DEI environment is, because I feel as though I know, and I don't want to assume. Okay, got it. So I'm right. Okay, so for anybody else that's wondering what that acronym is, It's an acronym, right? Yeah, okay, brain fog. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay. So they're scared of saying or doing the wrong thing in a diverse, equity-focused environment. And in so self-censor and have job insecurity. Yeah. Again, I feel like this one, to me, men, share, please. I'm not you, so please share your thoughts on this. From my brain's vantage point, I feel like this is almost the same thing as the mental health stigma, where they have not been given the words to use or the emotional intelligence. And again, it's not because they're incapable or unintelligent. It's because they don't have the practice, the expressive practice. It leads to that anxiety because it's unknown. It's like, I don't know what the right or wrong things to say are. And then getting in trouble for not knowing what the right or wrong things to say are because you should just know, because you should just look it up, but then looking it up and getting overwhelmed by it. Or it's just, I can only imagine what this loop is. I can only imagine what that loop is. And I would love to see more DEI focused environments, workplaces, do training on this, because why wouldn't you? You have the budget for PD, personal development. Startups don't, but most companies have the budget for personal development, and learning how to navigate and manage appropriately is so vital to the health of your organization. I don't understand why there isn't more education on this in the workplace. I don't understand why there isn't. And I don't believe it's right to be upset with somebody when they aren't given the greatest chance at success. If you're making an environment a specific way, I do genuinely believe you should be training people coming in to understand where they're going into at every level, every single level. So this includes management. There's so many leaders in organizations that have no actual leadership skills, and that is a huge issue. It's a huge issue, and it's not specific to gender. And then we're going to go into the nuances like this. And I'm like, I just feel as though if you're going to be actually DEI, truly, genuinely, it should be part of your education and onboarding. It should not be, and it should be something that's maintained every single year as our world evolves. End of sentence. That should be non-negotiable. And yet here we are. And so I can only imagine what that anxiety is. Again, that men not knowing how to express themselves, and yes, they could do so much more. I agree. They could. So I'm not giving them a full out. I'm just saying I do feel as though more could be offered in this regard. Okay, last one was social isolation. Changing societal norms have reduced traditional male bonding spaces, contributing to feelings of loneliness. I again did not expect that. What have reduced traditional male bonding spaces? What would a male specific bonding space be that would be reduced due to societal norms, or like changing societal norms? Yeah, I actually can't think of one. I'm not discrediting this. I'm just not entirely sure what that means. What spaces were removed from them? Yeah, if anybody knows, again, hit me up. That's unfortunate, though. Was it genuine male bonding spaces, though? I shouldn't say that. That's very judgy. I'm just curious, because they still have, you can still go golfing together and play sports together and go to church together. This is bad. I'm actually having a really hard time figuring out what they could be. I don't have the information, so we're gonna move on from it. But if that makes sense for any of the men, can you let me know what those spaces are that have been reduced? Just let me know. Okay, women, and then we'll go into gender fluid, non-binary. So women, these are the common challenges faced by women. Gender-based violence. Women worldwide face threats of violence impacting their safety and freedom. Yeah. I have been in too many to count situations that compromised my safety and 100% took away my freedom. I have been in too many to count, and it is really sad to say that out loud. It is sad that I've been asked in a moment by a gentleman whether or not I was scared, and I had to say no, even though I was absolutely terrified in that moment of that person. However, I felt too scared to say that I was scared in the off chance that that would give them an advantage over me. And I was very lucky to get out of that situation because somebody walked by. So, yeah. It's just a different way of life. I would not go out walking at night with my headphones in and not be super concerned for my safety. I would not go, it's just, anyways. Next one up, workplace inequality. Issues like unequal pay and underrepresentation in leadership roles persist. Oh, for sure, I've experienced this firsthand. Bam. Shouldn't be proud of that, but I am. What's up? Because guess what? I left the workforce and I created my own business, and now I get to decide. So, that doesn't mean I win, because there's still all of that existing at the workplace. I just don't attend that workplace anymore. Yeah, I constantly was underpaid in comparison to men that were doing the same things as me. Constantly. And I was constantly given more work because I was actually really good. Not an arrogant statement. It's just the reality. I was continuously gifted more work, more responsibilities, because my workplace could trust me to actually do them and do them well. And I was definitely underpaid for that. And I know there's some people who push back on that and they don't believe that to be true. There's also something to be said about women not asking for what they're worth either. And that's something I actually learned in the last workplace that I worked from a mentor. This CEO was amazing. He was incredible. And he taught me how to ask for more. I thought that, I didn't think that you could do that. I didn't think that you could ask for more pay. I didn't think that you could ask for more holidays. I didn't think that you could barter that. It was like, no, this is what you're giving me, and this is what it is. And he actually taught me that how to ask. He gave me the words, how to express myself in those scenarios. And now I feel very good about doing that. So there's a bit of women aren't taught how to ask these things. Women aren't taught to believe that they are allowed to ask these things as well, which again is this lack of education on expression in these scenarios. And so men are on one end of it, but we struggle with that as well. Women struggle to ask for what they're worth all the time. They undermine their worth all the time. I'm one of them. I'm not judging. I'm just saying it. Okay. Last one is reproductive rights. Access to healthcare and reproductive services remains a contentious issue in many regions. The only thing I will say on this, because this to me is something that makes me feel frustrated, as it should. The only thing I will say to this is, as people, every single one of us understands how important choice is. Every single person can understand, no matter what walk of life they live, that having your choice is of top importance. However, for whatever reason, there is a group of people that is blind to the fact that this is removing choice from women. This is, you are literally telling women that choice is of highest importance for me, but it's not for you, because I know what's better for you. That is not okay. It is not okay. And it will never be okay. Ever. Choice is of highest importance. If you see that in your life, if you think to yourself, I would never want somebody to take my choices from me. My choices matter. My voice matters. How dare you? How dare you say that that's not something that matters for other people? Oh, okay, we're going to move from that one. I do know that there's nuance to that. And with a safe person, I would love to hear about that nuance. And I promise I will be the calm little cucumber that I am. And I will genuinely show up and listen. I will turn my anger ears off. And I will turn my curiosity ears on. And I will happily sit. Because I do want to understand why that would ever be something that is okay. I do want to understand that. And right now I feel as though I lack the clarity on that. So we're gonna move on. Gender fluid, non-binary individuals. Greatest challenges. Misgendering. Oh, I can only imagine. Frequent experiences of being addressed with incorrect pronouns or gender terms. Yeah, I can imagine that would be pretty frustrating. I could see it being challenging, mainly because I'm assuming the people who are misgendering you are intelligent people. Like, I'm not there, right? I assume the best of most people. I assume that most people are intelligent. That's what I assume. That is my assumption in this world, and that is what I'm going to keep assuming. So it would be very frustrating to me if these people that I either know or feel are intelligent just cannot grasp this thing that is so simple to me. I would feel like, why? What? I don't understand. It's just one thing. Like, you can memorize a new dog's name when you get a new pet, but you can't figure out this gender. At the same time, I do understand that there has been shifts, and so if a person has not come out as this being their truth until later in life, there is going to be habitual patterns in people where that is just what has been so normal for 20, 30, 40, 50 years in relation to that person, that it's going to take a while to unravel that all the way through. And so I have a bit of grace in that regard. It's a pattern, and people are really, they struggle with unraveling patterns, because I think people assume that they're just top level. They're not. They're in everything. They're like probably linked to 1,000 different interactions you have in a day. So patterns are not easy to change. Recognition there. However, if they're not even trying, gosh, that would be a lot. That would be so a lot. Is that English? It is today. Okay. Lack of recognition. Many institutions don't acknowledge non-binary identities, leading to exclusion. Wow, I didn't realize that. That's really sad. That makes me sad. I wonder if... Yeah, that makes me really sad. I wonder if there's... I'm trying to think if... Oh, it's not work safe. Employee. Oh my gosh, the word is at the tip of my brain. It protects you as an employee, but there's also one that protects you as an individual going into corporations, and it's federally governed. Oh, brutal. I just wonder if there's rights that you, rights for you to push for that. Not that you should have to either. I'm just saying that the exclusion piece makes me sad to hear. And my hope is that there's something set up that somebody that was being, excluded could lean into. I don't know. Again, I'm still quite fresh with my understanding of how this interacts in our world. So if you know, and what institutions are not acknowledged, I guess actually, okay, wait, I'm assuming maybe, should I assume that it's religious? Now I feel bad because I was I'm assuming this might be religion based, and then now I'm wait, there might be more than that. Okay, so we need to expand past that. If people know that are listening to this, what types of institutions don't acknowledge non-binary, I again would love to hear. And I'd love to hear if there's things that people can do, because oh my gosh, there's been so many times in my life where I feel as though I can't make a change. I just think that there's nothing, there's no way for me to make a change. I just have to accept this. And then I talk to people and they're no, there's definitely things that you can do. And I'm okay. So please, if there is things that people can do, share that so that we can have that moment where it's oh, okay, well, there is something I can do. That's great. And if there's something that I can do as well, because I'm an advocate. So please tell me, I'm here. Use me. Don't use me. Don't use me. That's a terrible thing to say, but just hi. I will do what can I do? Literally, what can I do? And then the last one, healthcare disparities. Difficulty finding providers knowledgeable about gender diverse health needs. Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. I'm sorry, I just have so much. There's so many fail points in the healthcare system as it is, right? And I can just imagine how difficult this is for individuals with gender diverse needs. I can't. I have issues in the healthcare system. I can only imagine. Okay, let's see. We're almost done here. I'm starting to get to that point where I really have to pee. So I'm going to have to wrap this up. And we're at 48 minutes. I'm really proud that we got to 48 minutes. This has been very helpful. I do need to finish this coffee. So let's do this quick little break. But I'm not going to do everything that I had. However, current research and future outlook, I'm going to read those. And an additional insight. And then I will leave it. So drinking my coffee. You might think, Tash, you don't have to drink that much if you're watching. If you're just listening, you're you're taking a while to drink. Maybe you don't have to drink that much. I do. I have to have 4 full glasses 2 hours before. 4. It's not normal. That's so much. And I already had a glass of water. And then I'm having this. So I think I'm actually having less than I'm supposed to have. But I'm a rebel. And also I'm so uncomfortable already. It's so bad. Okay, additional insights. Oh, wait, no. Screw it. Let's do the additional insight first because we're already here. That's great. education's role. So it says, emphasizing the importance of comprehensive gender education in fostering understanding and acceptance. Yeah. Okay, so I guess my question would be, how do we, man, this is tough because I do believe our education system um, should be providing or fostering an understanding of gender and so much more, right? I also am sitting here and I'm like, there are so many things that are missing from the education system that I believe are so incredibly valuable as well. That then I start to question, okay, how do you integrate that in? And how do you make sure we have enough educators to be providing the type of education these things require? And also, how do we convince the government to pay teachers so much more than they do? Because, oh my gosh, I am I have a hard time being angry at teachers. I really do. They are underpaid. They have more and more children in their classroom each year. There's a lack of them as well. So there's some teachers doing several different classes, right? And I feel as though this is me. I feel as though there needs to be so much more focus put onto a comprehensive education system, and more of our economic worth should be going towards that. And again, I say comprehensive as in like expansive, not just learning the specific things that have always been there. Great, those, fine, you can keep educating on those. I get it. It's teaching strategy-based learning. It's teaching memorization. It does teach things outside of what the actual classes are. However, it is a terrifying experience to leave school and realize you know nothing. You don't know how to budget. There's no financial literacy, there's no death and grief literacy, there's no communication literacy or emotional intelligence, or there's no gender education, there's no genuine sex education. I mean, it's a joke. I hate to say that, it's a joke. Anyway, I just went on a tangent. I went on a tangent on the education system, and I want it. I want that. And so I'm not saying I don't want it. I do want it. I want it right. Oh, this is good timing for this to be ending. They just started mowing in the backyard. Okay, let's get through this. Let's get through this, team. Hats on, locked in. I don't know why I said hats on. That's a thing, right? Okay. Current research and future outlook. Youth identity trends. Here's a fun one. Over 25% of LGBTQ plus youth identify as non-binary, indicating a shift towards more diverse gender identities among younger generations. Wow, they're really coming behind our house now. Okay, I actually think, oh, he stopped for a moment. Okay. I don't think he's going to stop for a very long time, though. No, he's definitely not. Okay, maybe I do stop it then. You know what? I'm going to stop it here. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's probably better for everybody. Okay. Thank you for being with me here today. Thank you for learning with me here today. Thank you for holding space for me. Thank you for being in this space with me. Thank you for having these types of conversations, being curious, educating one another. This is so big for me. it's what I want more than anything in this world, is to build communities based on curiosity and respect. And so, yeah, learn me, please. Not learn me, like teach me. That's what the cool kids say, for sure. Okay. I love you all. I will catch you in the next episode. If any of you have a better grounding and understanding of the information we talked on today, please hit me up. I would love to have you on my podcast. And we will chat next week. Mwah!